Hello everyone, welcome to Chaudhary Data World channel. Today I am here with a new video on SQL series, that is common table expression. We will be watching into this video. All the details regarding CTE we will be watching into this particular video. So let's get started with the video. So if we talk about CTE, this is a completely new topic I am presenting right now. We have earlier finished off all the advanced joins whatever available into the SQL. Now moving ahead with this a different topic, that is a CTE, that is common table expression, which is very frequent topic even into the SQL, which comes under, you may say, in advanced SQL, into which we will first get the introduction, then why it is used, then its syntax, and then we will be exploring few examples. Apart from that, we will be again covering up subquery, which I have already covered up into the previous videos, but again I will recap those things because the CTE and subquery, these two are very confusing thing between each other, and these two are frequently used in complement, means you may say that both are something in which the people face confusion, that where to use common table expression, where to use subquery, what's the advantage of CTE or the advantage of subquery. So all these things we will be watching. So starting with the introduction, this common table expression is also abbreviated as CTE. Another point CTE is about CTE is temporary result set, as subquery was doing in the previous video which I saw you. That what was subquery? Jumping to the subquery, that query that is embedded within another query, the result of subquery is treated as a temporary table. Mind over here that the result of the subquery is treated as a temporary table. That means you can see over here that select these columns from which table. There is no table mentioned over here. Instead of table, there is this particular chunk of code is mentioned over there, which is abbreviated, or you may say which is having alias name as void. Correct? Now what this is doing is, this particular set of code, whatever you are seeing highlighted over here, this particular set of code is resulting a table which is treated as a temporary table into this whole query. Now over that temporary table, this select operation is going on. So this is subquery. And what this common table expression, it is also telling you the same, that it is also a temporary result set. That means both of the things are serving the same purpose. Correct? That's why I have taken this subquery in this particular video also, that you are at last going to serve the same purpose, but the advantage or the feature of both are different a bit. This subquery, what you can see over here, that it will be used multiple times whenever this particular table, whatever it is returning, this chunk of code which is highlighted over here, whenever you want to use this table which this highlighted query is resulting you, so each time it will be evaluated and each time you need to put this subquery over there. But in this CTE, we are having a feature, or we are having an advantage, that we don't need to use it repeatedly. That means it will not be evaluated repeatedly, which will alternatively impacting your performance. That means the CTE will give you the better performance. In spite of this subquery will be having lower performance. How this subquery, how this CTE will be in better performance, what we are doing is, we are assigning a CTE name to the subquery. How? So the syntax is with is a keyword will be used in this subquery, in the CTE, with CTE name, whatever CTE name you want to put, and then the column name, column 1, column 2, whatever it is, okay, as CTE query. This CTE query is something which will be there for you as a subquery in the subquery. That means whatever this particular chunk of code is there, this will sit inside this sit as condition. Now focus over it. This here you can see that CTE name, we are providing this particular query as CTE name, right? That means we are providing this particular chunk of code with a name. Now this name you can use every time, which will be pre-evaluated, which will ultimately increase your performance. How this is going in practical scenario, you can see over here that select these column names from this particular chunk of code. Same thing if you want to do it into the subquery, because both of the things are serving the same purpose. So same thing if you want to do, what you will do is with then the CTE name. The CTE name over here is employee department as we reached till here, correct? As, and then this particular chunk of code which is over here highlighted. Both are same, correct? That means select employee name, comma, department name from employees, inner join, department, and all the things are same, correct? So till here what we did, we have converted this subquery in CTE and provided that CTE with the name employee department. Now this employee department will hold the result whatever this particular subquery is resulting. This particular query is resulting. It will hold the result into this particular variable, employee department. Now wherever we want to use this employee department temporary table, we can use it as a normal table. Select employee name, comma, department name from employee department. The same whatever we are doing into the subquery, correct? Select employee name, department name from the temporary table. The temporary table is here aliased as void. Here the temporary table is aliased, or you may say named as employee department. And again we are selecting the same whatever we are selecting over here, employee name, department name from this particular CTE, correct? So these are this is how subquery and CTE is related, or you may say this was the comparative study we have done right now. Now why it is even used, you must have got the clear idea that why CTE is used. You must have got even the clear advantage to use this particular CTE. But to revise you again, that it will first and very foremost reason why we are using this CTE is it is improving the code readability, right? Because you will divide your subquery, means suppose if you are using this particular subquery 5 times, you need not to now construct this whole set of query 5 times. Just you will construct this in a CTE a single time, you can use it 5 times. That means you can use this employee department 5 times. You need not to use that repeated code. So what it did, it improved the code readability, avoided repeated subqueries. So this is the most advantage due to which we are using CTE. And of course I am telling you that when you will be dealing up with a big query, suppose if you are having a 1000 line of code, or you may say 500 line of code, into that if you will go ahead with subquery, it might give you into a problem later that you will not be able to understand that what this subquery is resulting. At that time if you are using this CTE, definitely it is going to help you a lot in code readability. Also performance wise it is much more better than the subquery. That's why we are using CTE. Now let's jump to the SSMS so that we can have a clear demonstration how we can use it. So in front of us, what we will do, first of all, we will just take this example which we saw right now. I will put a line over here so that you can have a clear distinction between both of them. So this particular subquery, this particular is with CTE. The same thing we are going to do with the subquery as well. For that, what we will do, we will delete this CTE part. Now if we are deleting the subquery CTE part, then we will just copy this as this subquery. Where we will provide this subquery, we'll replace this after from select employee name comma department name from what? From this subquery, correct? And this subquery will be aliased as suppose y or x, whatever you want to put the proper name, you can put it over there. Now if you need to execute it, suppose if you are executing it, correct, this is in the master, we will change it to db1 and then we will execute it. You can see that employee name and department name is resulted, and with the proper data into it, that is alias Bob and Charlie. And same thing, if you want to execute with this subquery, you can go ahead with executing with subquery, the same result will be outputted. I told you that both of the things serves the same purpose, only difference is the performance thing and another is the code readability, due to which we are using CTE. So that was whole about this CTE, common table expression. Hope this video you found it very helpful, and it was helpful to you, like to the video, subscribe to the channel, and see you in the next video with some other interesting topic. Stay tuned to the channel. Thanks again.